Bro, what's up? Like, he's still getting buckets. Is Wizards Mike better than LeBron? We finna find out.
The Last Dance was one of the hottest documentaries this
He
year,
probably
even though
is.
the real Last Dance of Michael Jordan happened 5 years after the story in the doc. In 2001, Jordan unretired
2001. That's the year I was born.
for the second time and suited up
Hmm.
in a blue Wizards jersey. Some people
Okay.
say that his two Wizards years tarnished his legacy, and some
Wait, he played with them in '01.
praised MJ even more.
Hey,
So what's the real truth? And how good was Jordan in Washington? Was he really washed? Or did he prove once more that he's the GOAT? Watch the rest
he is
of
the
the video
GOAT.
to find out.
Ain't nothing to prove why he on the Wizards. He already was the GOAT.
After The Last Dance. In 1998, MJ and Phil Jackson went to the karaoke bar.
Uh-huh.
Jordan chose The Careless Whisper by George Michael and
what's
sang,
what that go
"I'm
like?
never gonna dance again, the way I danced with you," looking gently in Phil's direction. Okay, I totally made that
Okay.
up, but Jordan indeed
Wait,
said
huh?
that he wouldn't be playing unless it's for Phil Jackson. Since the
Oh,
Bulls
okay.
GM Jerry Krause didn't want to re-sign Phil, and Scottie Pippen wanted to get his first massive paycheck,
You
the
want to
Bulls
get that
fell
cheese? I
apart,
get that. I
and
get
MJ
that.
fulfilled his promise and retired for the second time. And then in January of 2000, Michael came back to the NBA, but he didn't wear a jersey. Instead,
big ass
he
suit.
slipped into a suit and tie as a minority owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. The team was bad and finished that year with a 29-53 record. And they got even worse next year with 10 wins less. But there was hope on the horizon. They got the #1 pick. MJ had the chance to get a blue chip prospect.
Oh my
and
God.
he famously opted for Kwame Brown, the #1 high school player in the country.
Kwame Brown, bro. What a disappointment.
Jordan saw something in Kwame, and he believed he is the cornerstone that will immediately turn the Wizards into a winning ball club. Also,
Is that
he knew
right?
a guy pretty good at basketball, a guy who was on the floor with the team at every practice and who was itching to make another comeback. It's an itch that still needs to be scratched, and I want to make sure this itch doesn't bother me for the rest of my life. I'm just going to play the game of basketball that I love. It's not about the money. Indeed, it wasn't about the money. Jordan the GM gave Jordan the player the smallest salary on the Wizards.
What?
And MJ gave all of it to the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack.
Oh, that's awesome. So he took a minimum. LeBron, see, this makes LeBron look so bad. The Lakers could be so good if LeBron take a minimum. You're 42, gang, 40, whatever. Like the new NBA is just so, it just don't make no sense, bruh.
It really was just about the game for him. And because of that competitive fire that never ceased to burn, and that voice in the head who kept telling him he is still better than the young guys who took over the league from him. How good were the Wizards? The Wizards had a young Richard Hamilton, who was in
Yeah,
his
Rip.
third year, and who was turning to be one of the most promising shooting guards in the league. And that was about it when it comes to quality players with potential. The rest were either older veterans on their way out, or young role players.
Jeez.
Of course, there was also Kwame Brown, who, by the time the season started, was already crushed by Jordan, who insulted him at any chance he got. Jordan never changed his ways, and just like he trash-talked all of his opponents,
Wait, they had Stackhouse. Was Stackhouse trash on the Wizards?
Jordan never changed his
Was Stackhouse trash? Cause I remember Stackhouse went in the MVP, right?
ways. And just like he trash-talked all of his opponents, teammates, and Jerry Krause, he was maybe even worse to Kwame. A 19-year-old kid couldn't take it, and he played with zero confidence and was basically unusable on the court.
You know who that sound like? DeAndre Ayton. That sound like DeAndre Ayton.
Nobody on the team averaged more than 10 points that year, other than Rip Hamilton and Jordan. The Wizards were the same team that won 19 games the year prior, plus Jordan and Kwame. MJ thought it would be enough to be competitive, but he overstated his team and himself. Return of the Mac. Before the season,
This
Jordan
sound
was
messed
working
up, bro.
tirelessly to get himself in shape. He trained every day with his personal trainer, Tim Grover, and held private training camps with various NBA players to get himself in game shape. So, when the season started, Jordan wasn't rusty. In the first two
okay.
weeks of the season, Jordan scored over 30 in 4 of his 8 games. In the ninth, he poured 44 on the Jazz.
Bro, this is 2001. This is after Shaq and Kobe the one. Bro.
Picking up right where he left off in 1998. After the first 10 games, he He averaged 27.4 points,
Wow.
6.3 rebounds, 4
Wow.
assists, and 2 steals.
What?
And it seemed like he had never left, as his stats were virtually the same to the 1998 regular season. He was in the MVP race and made it easy for the world to fall in love with him once again. However,
Nah,
his
bro.
play wasn't reflected in the team record,
Nah,
as the
bro.
Wizards only notched 2 games in the win column. They started the season 5-12 and were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference.
Man, this team's like that
Also,
right now.
Jordan's stellar play at the beginning of the season wasn't sustainable at the age of 38. He was still Michael Jordan, but he wasn't Air Jordan anymore.
Okay.
Or at least not all the time. And even though his totals were still looking good, Mike became an inefficient volume scorer on a bad team. He shot 40% in those first 17 games, a landslide from his career average of 50%. MJ was still fundamentally sound. He could still see every play, and he was still 6'6", strong and confident, but he didn't have the same speed.
We gotta think about how old he is too. He unk now. He MJ. He unk. Well, he's still MJ, but you know he 40 something. Hey, I like the effort, man. Look, minimum contract. I go out here and bust all y'all. I'm doing this for the love of the game. You got a man in the NBA, man. Boy.
And he didn't have the legs under him to shoot efficiently.
Oh
But if
my
you know
God.
anything about Jordan, you know that he hates losing more than anything. After those 17 games and a 5-12 record, the Wizards won 9 in a row. Then they lost a couple. And in the second of those 2 losses, MJ had the worst game of his career. In 25 minutes on the floor, he shot 2 out of 10 and finished the game with 6 points, which snapped his record 866 game streak of double figures scoring, and the media went ballistic. After the game, Jordan was down on himself. On the bus ride from the arena, he sat next to Doug Collins, whom he hired to be the coach, and asked him, "Do you think I can still play?" Collins said, "Yeah, of course. I only took you out because we were down by 25 in the fourth and wanted to keep you fresh for the next game."
Oh my God, bro. Coach sold. Coach literally sold this nigga record. He probably was gonna be the only nigga to never score under 10 points. You know, at that level, playing at a peak level. Coach, no, coach. Oh my man, I can't blame him, man. But god damn, bro. Man, that's. Mm, oh my god.
Game. MJ was satisfied and said he did the right thing,
Okay.
but he needed the confirmation and the assurance that his coach still believed in his abilities. 2 nights later, he responded in a big way. He scored the first 3 times he had the ball, and he finished the game with 51 points, going 21 for 38 from the field.
I gotta
he was
watch
the
that.
oldest player ever
I
to score
gotta watch
50
that.
in an NBA game.
We
He
gotta
followed
watch
that
that.
up with a 45-point, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steal effort against the New Jersey Nets,
What?
including scoring 22 points in a row during one stretch. In the game against the Cavaliers, the Wizards were down by a point with 1.6 seconds left. Michael then hit a mid-range jumper for the last buzzer beater of his career. In a game against his former club, after enduring Ron Mercer's trash talk and having his jumper blocked, he responded by pinning Mercer's layup against the backboard with 2 hands and trash talking him on the way back up the court. It was a game-winning play and one of the most spectacular blocks by Jordan or anyone for that
I don't
matter.
even know who that
It
kid
was even
is.
more impressive that it was done by a 39-year-old who spent his last 3 years playing golf, drinking, and smoking cigars. By the end of the season, Jordan notched back-to-back 40-point games, but also 4 more games where he failed to reach double figures. And that's where the answer lies about Jordan's time with the Wizards. Yeah, he could still play, and yes, he could still be dominant, but it wasn't the kind of dominance we grew accustomed to.
Man,
It didn't happen.
bro, what dominance is? What is you talking about now? Look, nonstop. Look, bro. Dope vids, but sometimes you just be saying some stuff that don't make sense. What do you mean he don't have dominance like we see now? What other 40-year-old do you see is dominating, scoring 27.4 points per game on a minimum contract? Okay, yeah, I get it. He's shooting 40%, but bro, you gotta look at the bare minimum. He went to the weakest team. LeBron went to the Lakers, where there's some money and value over there, bro. That's like if Jordan was 40 years old and went to the Celtics or the Knicks or something. Somebody with some cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
in every game. Jordan finished the year early due to a knee injury that required surgery.
Okay.
And the Wizards didn't make the playoffs with a
Look at
37
that
and 40.
knee. Boy, you out there looking like Joel Embiid. So you telling me he was out there like Joel Embiid with this knee, still getting buckets, bro? Man, bro.
5 record. MJ played
Man,
60 games in the 2001-02 season, and he
whatever.
averaged 23 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists.
That's
Those numbers
insane.
look great in a vacuum, but when you look at Jordan's efficiency, you can quickly tell he didn't have an overly successful season. Jordan took 22 shots per game, far more
Okay.
than he should have for a player shooting 41% from the floor and 19% from 3. He was second to last in effective field goal percentage out of all players who qualified for the stat, and 169th out of 177 qualified for true scoring percentage.
Okay.
The real last dance.
You gotta think about it. He trying to get at this point. I'm hooping, and it's a chance for ring 7. I'm on number 7, y'all. I'm on my last leg. I'm on number 7. Trying. I'm just hooping. If I, see if I can get 7. Man, whatever, bro. Whatever. Man, old MJ is the GOAT. Young MJ the GOAT. MJ is the GOAT.
In the offseason, Jordan the GM wanted to help Jordan the player. He traded the best young player on the team, Rip Hamilton,
Yeah, he did.
for a
He's,
more experienced
that's
Jerry
okay.
Stackhouse.
That's all right.
Trading away Hamilton was a
Hey,
mistake.
bro.
So
Hey, nah.
for a more experienced Jerry Stackhouse, trading away
Hey, you see that jersey right there, boy? See that jersey right there, boy? Yeah. Detroit basketball. Yes, sir, man. He did the right thing. Thank you, Michael Jordan. Look, I appreciate you, bro, because we ain't won none since. So, hey.
Hamilton was a mistake.
That was
And
a
Jordan
W
once
move.
again proved his short-sightedness in
W
making
move.
decisions. The team
Jordan,
wasn't
help
that
me.
much better, and the season went pretty much the same as the last. Jordan, who was a
He
year
helped the
older
Pistons,
and was
man.
battling a lingering knee
okay.
injury, still had some juice left. But he had to squeeze really hard to get a full cup, and it didn't happen all the time. He scored over 43 times, becoming the first 40-year-old to score over 40 in an NBA game. He also had 7 more games where he failed to score 10 points. His defense wasn't at the level it once was, and numerous players took the opportunity to put up numbers against Jordan, something that was unimaginable in previous years. Kobe dropped 55 on him after Jordan taunted him that he could wear the shoes but could never fill them. Michael was more rational with his shots in the second year and shot 44% from the floor, and it was enough for 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists for the season. Jordan played in all 82 games, but once again, the team went 37 and 45.
Oh my God, bro, he played it. Oh, bro. My nigga, bro. Man, I don't want to hear shit. Nah, you really finna irritate me, bro. I don't even like cursing in my vids, bro. I try to keep it cool, bro. But bro, you pissing me off, gang. Bro, what? He played every game. That's all I had to hear. Anything that Nonstop says, and it sounds crazy, I'm gonna pause this, okay?
And didn't make the playoffs. The highlight of the year was definitely the All-Star game, where MJ was selected as a reserve after he rejected the offer from Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady to take their starting spots. He ultimately accepted it from Vince Carter. At halftime, Mariah Carey performed a special tribute to
Dang, he got beef with all. So Jordan got beef with AI and T-Mac, and man, what's that about? Y'all let me know in the comments.
him, donning dresses of both his rookie year Bulls jersey and his final year Wizards jersey,
Okay, Mike.
as his career highlights played on giant screens behind her. It was a proper send-off, worthy of a star that was Michael Jordan. In the game itself, MJ didn't shoot it particularly well, but he did score 20 points, and most importantly, hit a tough fall-away jumper over Sean Marion to give the East the lead with less than 5 seconds to play. It appeared to be a game winner, but the West scored again and prevailed in overtime. Still, Jordan proved that he still belongs with the best players in the world, at least for one game, even though it was clear he wasn't the best anymore.
Yeah.
A mediocre dessert to a great meal.
But I mean, you had Kobe. Shit, Kobe and Shaq was going crazy. It is what it is, man.
If you want a recap of Jordan's time with the Wizards, you'll get different answers depending on who you
Tim
ask.
Duncan had
Jerry
him some
Stackhouse said that
chips.
he wished he had never played in Washington because everything was still going through Michael Jordan, even though it was obvious he wasn't the same player anymore. Kwame Brown was miserable during Jordan's years there, and his career would have certainly been better if he didn't play with MJ as a 19-year-old.
Cap.
The Wizards owner Abe Pollin wasn't thrilled with Jordan either, and he relieved him of his GM duties shortly after the last season of Jordan as a player. If we compare Jordan's last years to some of the other NBA greats, we'll see some similarities. The greatest players who ever did it, if they took care of their bodies, were still extremely effective at an advanced age. Tim Duncan was named to the All-NBA
Yeah,
and
Tim hoop.
All-Defensive
Tim
team in
hoop.
2015
As long as I've been
at
alive,
the
Tim
age of
been hooping.
39. Kareem
Tim
made the
always hoop.
first-team All-NBA in
Him too.
86, also age 39. And he averaged 26 points in the playoffs that year. Karl Malone averaged 28 and 5 at
Karl
the age
Malone.
of 39. So it's not unusual that Jordan was still able to play. But maybe the best quote about Jordan's Wizards years came from his agent, David Falk. I just don't think it was a good dessert to a great meal. In the words of De La Soul, Mike was certified hot, and then he dropped to lukewarm. However, that last 2 years didn't affect his legacy. And the unathletic Jordan, who had to pump fake 3 times to get a separation for a
Hey.
shot, was soon forgotten. People like to remember the good things.
Ooh.
The lasting image of
Come
Jordan
here, Byron
will
Russell.
always be that shot over Russell,
What'd you say
and
about me, boy?
celebrating his 6th title with a cigar in his mouth.
Man, bro. Whatever, bro. Man, look, he played every game. You could say whatever you could say whatever you want about Wizards Mike. He played every game. He better than LeBron. I will catch y'all in the next one. Boo.